this morning, sun's a bit hazy. Checking the forecast, things looking crazy. A storm on the horizon, the pressure is low. Gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, we're stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities. We're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. EMA, let's get this show on the road.
Let's do this. Let's kick this can, guys. What do you say? Let's do it right now. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you might be in this beautiful world of ours. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates, guys. My name's Ron Tyler. I'm the president of Emergency Management Associates. We're coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. Welcome to our program, guys. Give me just a second here. I'm trying to bring up a picture I want to show you tonight. If you just give me a quick second here, I think I've got it. I hope I've got it anyway. Here it is right here. These are our children, our dogs. In the back is Holly. The front dog here is Crystal. Both of them are Chihuahuas. Both of them are beautiful dogs, wonderful dogs. Crystal has stopped eating. She's done this about 2 or 3 times in the past, and today we're really worried about them, okay? We're worried about both dogs, but Crystal has stopped eating. That's why I've been on the air late this evening, because I wanted to make sure Crystal's going to do all right. I tried giving her some food. She did not want to take any food. I force-fed her about a teaspoon of food, maybe a little bit less than a teaspoon of food, maybe a quarter of a teaspoon of food. That's about all she'd take. But guys, pray for my dog, Crystal. She's a great kid. I love her to death. I love all my kids, my human and dogs. We love them to death. God bless you, Crystal. We love you very much. Now, guys, we have some things to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is Tropical Storm Arthur. Arthur was deemed a tropical storm early this morning. As we reported last night, the Air Force hurricane planes started flying into Tropical Storm Arthur late last night, about 11:30 last night. Then early this morning, the storm began to increase in wind speed up to including 40 miles per hour sustained, up to 50 miles per hour gusts. Now it's a tropical storm. Let's bring up Fox News and let them explain this to you right now.
Welcome back into America's Weather Center. Tropical Storm Arthur officially forming in the Gulf as our first named storm of the 2026 hurricane season. Tropical storm warnings already in effect along coasts from Texas to Louisiana. The system is already extremely close to the coast with the potential to make landfall in Texas in the next couple of hours. Now, this is definitely a little bit of a sloppier system, but it's going to have a major impact regardless. We've been watching this system. Earlier this morning was a potential tropical system, but now, of course, Tropical Storm Arthur official as of the 11 a.m. advisory. Right now, looking at the stats, 40-mile-per-hour winds at this point, northeast moving at 9 miles per hour. So it has started to speed up a little bit compared to what we saw earlier this morning. That pressure has also dropped just slightly from the earlier advisory. But again, at 11 a.m., we're looking at 40-mile-per-hour winds at this point, moving at nearly 10 miles per hour. So again, looking into our buoy wind gusts, because it's not only going to be the tropical moisture that we have been hammering home for you guys, but it's also going to be the very gusty winds that are going to be very impactful. I mean, looking at this buoy, this is the latest wind gust that we got out of this area. Nearly 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts there. Galveston, Texas, getting a nearly 60-mile-per-hour wind gust at the most recent look at this. So it has been incredibly impactful already, this storm. Now, on top of this, too, there have been some reports of some gustier winds also moving up towards Louisiana as the storm continues to track up towards the northeast. So at this point right now, it's potentially going to be making official landfall in the course of the next few hours. Now, this is a really interesting system because right now it is kind of riding the coast. It kind of feels like half of it is on land. It's mostly this kind of messier blob that's just sitting just to the east of where the center rotation is of this tropical storm that we have to watch out for. That's where the majority of, obviously, the moisture and the rain and the intense flooding impacts will be coming from. So right now we do have a tropical storm watch on deck for the coastal regions of Texas as well as into Louisiana. Tropical storm warning on deck too. That's going to be going into effect right now and as we continue throughout the next few hours moving into tomorrow as well. Now, not only are we also looking at obviously the tropical downpours that we've been watching out for already, but also a bit of that storm surge. It's also going to be a possibility along the coast into Texas as well as into Louisiana, up to 3 to 4 feet of storm surge possible with this tropical system. So as of right now, again, this is what I was kind of talking about here. Here's that center rotation. And here is all of that moisture, all of those thunderstorms that are just kind of sitting just to the east of where that center is. So it's been an interesting system to watch. It's been a little bit sloppy for the most part this morning, but again, still making a major impact. You can see that a little bit better on visible satellite, a bit more of that spin, more of that rotation going on just to the south of Houston at this point. So on top of this too, this tropical system kind of found its perfect little pocket where there was hardly any hostile winds it had to battle. But as it starts to track towards the north, as it's expected to move this way and more towards the northeast, it's going to be running into some really hostile conditions. So that's the thing. Once it starts to make landfall very quickly, it'll die out quickly as well, having to battle some wind shear over the course of the next few hours and the next few days. But that's not going to dampen down its tropical moisture impact. That's where the rain comes in. That's when the floods come in for folks throughout Louisiana, Mississippi, and into Alabama. Let's get a closer look at some of those winds, though, first, because even as we move throughout the rest of the day today, those wind gusts are expected to really fire up. We're expecting maybe close to 30, 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts, maybe even 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts at times, like we did end up already seeing in parts of Galveston, Texas, and also near the Houston area as well. So we still have a ways to go with this tropical system, creating some serious problems for folks along the Gulf Coast. We've already seen so much flooding impact for them as well. So that's why it's going to be in a particularly dangerous situation throughout the Gulf Coast, up even more so inland as that tropical system continues to track up towards the northeast. It will get torn apart very quickly. I want to reiterate that, but it is going to be a strong storm when it comes to those wind gusts and, of course, that tropical impact when it comes to the rainfall too. Now let's focus on Tropical Storm Arthur. Obviously, it's forming out into the Gulf, but let's talk about the flooding that has already been seen throughout parts of Texas and Louisiana, too. So we are going to be looking into that. Right now, you're looking at parts of Alabama with some gustier winds. Of course, you want to make sure you're following our Fox Weather blog. You can scan that QR code right there on your screen. That's going to allow you to get all of those live, up-to-date updates as we continue to track this system that's going to be just firing up along the southern coast here. So this flooding, it has been so dangerous for a lot of us too. That's why we've been really focusing on a lot of this over the course of the past couple of days. You know, business owners, homeowners, and business owners are going to need to be on high alert for this storm. Fox Weather's Craig Herrera was able to actually chat with a company that provides intuitive solutions for all of that as well. So we'll be jumping into that in just a little bit here. But for the most part right now, that flood threat, already the course of the past couple of days for us, we have seen multiple rounds of rain. We've seen nearly a foot of rain for some spots too. So let's get a closer look into some of those impacted areas. I mean, Chambers, Louisiana, there are almost a foot of rain in the past couple of days since our Sunday here. But taking a look into some spots throughout Louisiana just from yesterday, 4 inches of rain nearly. That's the 9th, what is June day on record for this area throughout Louisiana. Daily record broken. That previous record was under 2 inches. So it completely smashed this record, just jumped it out of the water. That old record was from 1940 as well. So haven't seen that rainy of a day in a while there. Now, flood and rain reports already being posted over the past 24 hours throughout the Gulf Coast, throughout Texas, as well as into Louisiana and Alabama. Hence why we do have those flood alerts through our Friday. So we've been seeing these flooding impacts since Sunday night. And now as we move into the later half of this work week, they continue on into our Friday. And it's going to be extending into parts of Georgia, Alabama, into Mississippi. And you'll also note, too, that a lot of these flood alerts are going to be moving up towards the north as we move into the later half of this week because of Tropical Storm Arthur continuing to track up towards the northeast. So looking at all of the available moisture that we have, take a look at this. That really dark blue color, that is so incredibly deep, and a lot of that we have to watch out for that. We did just get a special advisory as well. So I am going to jump over back into our advisory changes that are coming up from this tropical storm. Let's take a closer look into this right now. Hang on, we're going to update this really quick. Bear with me, guys. This is just coming in to our Fox weather currently. Here we go. Okay, Tropical Storm Arthur, actually, those winds have now just picked up 45 miles per hour. Look at this. That pressure has dropped by 2, still moving out into the northeast by 9 miles per hour. So this is a 12 p.m. advisory. It's already getting pretty strong. It's strengthened within the past hour and a half or so. So the alerts have also been expanded. Tropical storm warnings extending throughout the Gulf Coast of Texas, as well as into parts of Louisiana. So we have that tropical storm warning now extending for a lot of the coast here. So let's get a closer look into what's going on currently. Tropical Storm Arthur, you can see, again, a very sloppy system at this point. But just to the south of Galveston, that is where we're starting to see that rotation, or at least have that decent rotation going on. But you will notice that a lot of the rain, the storms are sitting just to the east of the system. Hence why it's a little bit of a messy system to look at on radar. But the impacts, we've already seen them. They've been so incredibly strong over the course of the past couple of hours. So I want to take a closer look again, since we have just gotten that update. I want to look at those wind speeds and those wind gusts that are currently impacting the area right now. I mean, still Galveston, look at this, a wind gust of 59 miles per hour. That's pretty incredible. A buoy also getting around 50 mile per hour wind gusts here. We're getting this in Galveston Bay, North Jetty, wind gust of 51 miles per hour. Yeah, this is already a very impactful storm when it comes to that. Also, so when we're talking about the gustier winds, of course, it's going to be impactful on land, but also it creates really intense rip currents. The surf is going to be very intense. We're also going to have to watch out for more of that storm surge too. So as we track throughout the next couple hours, even though we just saw Arthur get a lot stronger within the past hour or so, it potentially kind of dying out as we get into the later half of today.
Okay, look at that cone, guys. This is the second cone that they put out to give us an advisory of what is actually going on. with this storm and where it's headed. It's going directly up through and including Texas, Louisiana, parts of Arkansas, going up into Tennessee, and then eventually by possibly Friday, we may see parts of this storm system over in South and North Carolina. Okay? Yes, we are expecting some rain Thursday night going into Friday, possibly very heavy rains here in North Carolina on Friday because of this storm and another tropical storm coming up the coast in the Atlantic Ocean. Okay? Let's finish with this.
As we continue to watch this storm make official landfall. It's been interesting, though, because it is kind of riding the coast, so it's kind of half on land already, but it will be making its landfall later on today. Again, those tropical storm warnings for Texas, Louisiana. This extends all the way from Brazosport all the way to Morgan City throughout Louisiana. So a big chunk of real estate needs to be on high alert. This storm is going to be packing a punch when it comes to those tropical impacts. So again, keeping a close eye on this here at Fox Weather. That's the latest update on Tropical Storm Arthur.
Okay, that's what's going on, guys. I want to make sure you have this information because it's important. This is very important. This information could affect you and I, our friends, and our family all over this region. From southern Texas all the way into Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, yes, Mississippi, guys, Alabama, going into northern panhandle of northern Florida, into Georgia, South and North Carolina, and also into Tennessee. Why do I say that? The storm itself, this tropical storm, is going to go up through Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, into Tennessee, and track over to South and North Carolina. But in the meantime, other storms are also working their way through the Gulf of America, through Mississippi already today, going into Alabama, the panhandle of Florida, up into Georgia, guys. It's incredible. Now, this storm first started over in the Pacific Ocean. Then it went over land in Mexico, comes out over the Yucatan Peninsula and goes out into the Gulf of America, and then goes over to Texas. Incredible. Really incredible. Now, guys, I have some more information for you as of last night. I want to show you the wind gusts last night. This is totally incredible. Totally and absolutely incredible. Look at the wind gusts here. Look at these wind gusts here. Look at the storm last night around Corpus Christi. This is where that storm began to be a tropical storm down here in Corpus Christi and moved over to Galveston before it actually was named a tropical storm. Look at those swirling winds in a circle here, counterclockwise in a circle. This was the beginning of the tropical storm last night. That's how it was swirling. The onshore winds from the Gulf of America going onshore here and then swirling around here through Texas, going back down into New Mexico, into Mexico itself, and back out into the Gulf of America, and then going back into Texas again. Look at that. The beginnings of Tropical Storm Arthur here. It's incredible, isn't it? I think it is. I think it truly is. Now, let me change topics really quick here. Okay? The next thing I want to talk about happened yesterday afternoon around 3 p.m. I've got a story here about a shooting at Wilmington, Delaware Hospital. One of the employees shot and killed one other employee and injured another. Let's go over here to ABC 6 News and let them speak about what happened.
Into our newsroom, police in Wilmington have just identified the suspect in the deadly hospital shooting. This is 23-year-old John Wallace Bay, who police say shot 2 hospital workers yesterday. They're his co-workers. We've also just learned that both victims were 19 years old. One of them has died and the other is in critical condition.
Police say Wallace Bay opened fire inside the hospital around 3:30 yesterday. Law enforcement sources told us that the suspect was a temporary worker there who shot those 2 co-workers. He was arrested in Philadelphia late last night, now facing several charges, including murder and attempted murder. Wallace Bay is waiting to be extradited now from Philadelphia back to Wilmington.
Okay, Wallace Bay here.
Okay, so everyone.
Wallace Bay there, guys, fled in from Delaware down into Pennsylvania. From Delaware into Pennsylvania. He is a wanted fugitive. Okay, interstate flight to avoid prosecution. FBI is also now into this. FBI is also investigating this murder. Okay, but Sunday night, something else big happened. Most people don't know about it. There was a plot to kill the President of the United States and take over the White House. Let's go over here. Let's let Fox News give it to us here. 5 people are in custody. Another 20 people are at large still, and the FBI is going looking for them at the present time.
This information really just coming in. The FBI Director Kash Patel saying that on June 10th, FBI and our law enforcement partners became aware of a potential threat to the UFC America 250 event in Washington, D.C., involving individuals outside of the National Capital Region. And thanks to the rapid action of the FBI, our partners, and the DOJ in a multi-state operation, several individuals are now in custody and allegedly planned attacks were stopped cold. While the result represented the best of investigative work, it was also nothing out of the ordinary for this law enforcement team. We are built to detect, respond to, and bring to justice those who threaten the lives of American citizens, particularly during large gatherings like the historic UFC 250 fight. That's exactly what we did here. I want to thank our great agents and partners. This work remains ongoing, and we will continue to update the public as permitted. We continue to encourage any American to report anything suspicious at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Now, you can see the actual post itself from Fox News that he quote tweeted there. That is over on the left-hand side of your screen. It says, FBI disrupts alleged explosive drone plot targeting White House UFC event. And again, that is coming from investigators as all of this is coming in. Now, the U.S. Secret Service also putting out a statement saying our most important responsibility is safeguarding the president and every person under Secret Service protection. The U.S. Secret Service worked closely with the FBI throughout the investigation. In the days leading up to this weekend, our special agents, mission support personnel, and technical security teams worked around the clock to identify those responsible and hold them accountable. Equally important to our protective mission is ensuring accountability through the justice system. To that end, our formal comments regarding the specifics of this case will be made through filings. Now, law enforcement officials saying they disrupted the, quote, planned attacks meant to target the UFC cage fighting show that was at the White House this past weekend. Several people there in custody, according to the FBI. Right now, I do want to bring in a friend of the show here. We have Rich Kolko. He is a retired FBI special agent joining us live to discuss all of this. Rich, as always here, we appreciate you joining us to provide your insight and a little bit more information. Thank you for being here.
Have you heard about pop-on sighting?
Hold on a second, guys.
And first off, I just want to ask you, as all of this has been coming out here and we gather kind of bits and pieces of information, what has stood out to you overall about all of this?
Well, I've been looking around and talking to some folks that I'm able to talk to right now, and I guess what stands out is how real this one may have been. There's always that question of, is it aspirational or operational? And this one hasn't fully been determined yet, but the fact that somebody was traveling from another part of the country to the Washington, D.C. area. That's what's called an overt act, so that at least starts to get into what's called operational. I heard you just read that Secret Service tweet. I think that could have been beefed up a little bit more, because I know they were a joint partner in this, working very closely with the FBI. There are a lot of people involved in this with a very dramatic plan. Their capability or ability to actually carry it out to their full extent would have been very limited based on the security efforts of Secret Service and law enforcement in the vicinity of the White House. But I can tell you that over the last few years, drones has become a real problem for law enforcement and security personnel, very unpredictable and difficult to defend. So it's certainly a problem, but they literally had a 3-step plan here, and it was to attack the crowd with a drone with an explosive device. Wouldn't have had to be big if you think about it, but if that had just gone off, it would have resulted in some sort of panic and people running for the doors, and they planned on some sort of sniper team when people were running outside of the facility, and then they wanted to charge into the White House. So, this 3-step plan that they supposedly carried out, discussed, talked about, and maybe planned, and we'll have to find out if there's any reality to what they could have or tried to do.
How important is it for this information here to be released to the public? Because, again, a lot of different actions there, arrests, things of that nature, happen behind closed doors. You may get a little information here and there. But, again, FBI Director Kash Patel came out this morning. The Secret Service came out. They said, this is what happened. This is what we know. More information will come from court filings. Why is it important for the public to be aware that this happened?
Well, first of all, we'll find out. But I think the court documents will be unsealed today at 11 o'clock. So in a couple hours, we'll have some more, specific information if that does happen today. And on top of that, it sounds like law enforcement was tipped off by one of the parents of one of the people involved in this. Don't have any names yet of who was arrested. 5 people supposedly have already been arrested, looking for others. I think the reason it's important for people to know is if this had actually happened, it would have been disastrous for the United States, regardless of what your political leanings are. This political violence is a no-go for any party, any issue, any time. So it doesn't work and can just destroy the country. So as far as people knowing what happened or what could have happened, the fact that somebody was willing to pick up the phone and call law enforcement and provide that critical tip, that's what's important that the public knows, in addition to whatever the plans or operations were. Because
Okay, let me pause this here. In fact, I'm gonna take over here at this point in time. What they had done, 5 pertinent people with 20 other people also involved, they had planned on dropping some explosive devices from drones into the crowd there, start shooting up in the air, start shooting at people, and getting them running out, panicked. And as they ran out of that stadium that was built there in front of the White House, they were going to be shot by snipers. Okay? That's what the plot was. It was averted. 5 people are already in custody, and the 20 plus other people that are being hunted down in a manhunt right now. Over 25, 30 people are presently going in there and going to be charged completely. Okay, upwards of 30 people may be involved here. 5 people are in custody, 20 plus more are being hunted down right now. This is a huge plot. If that had been successful, they also planned on storming the White House. Storming the White House, guys, unfrickin' real. They planned on dropping explosive devices into the crowd from drones. Then as the crowd got panicked, rushing from the exits, then they would have had snipers taking them out. And then the other part of the plot was to rush the White House and take control of the White House. Unfrickin' real. Unfrickin' real. It did not happen. The UFC fight went off as scheduled. No big deals at all. Not at all. But it could have happened. Had the FBI not gotten involved, this would have been a bigger tragedy. Could have been a very huge tragedy on our own soil. Okay? This cannot be allowed to happen. Now, we had 20 people watching this program. We now have 14 people watching it. This is terrible. Okay. I'm giving you breaking news today, guys. I'm giving you breaking news about people that are getting shot at hospitals. I'm giving you breaking news as to a plot that was broken up to storm the White House and, unfortunately, to take out people in front of the White House Sunday night. Okay. I told you about Tropical Storm Arthur. That's still a big deal. It's ongoing as I explained here. There's other news here as well. Yes, I'm going to talk about earthquakes in a few minutes. Okay. I know that a lot of people want to talk about earthquakes. I'm sorry I don't talk about it in the beginning here, but we have very important information to give you. In order to show you it all, we have to be cognizant of what's going on around us. We have to be cognizant of the stuff that's more important, saving lives. We specifically talk about saving lives here in this program. That's why I'm bringing all this up right now, saving lives. Okay? About 2016, I should say, I was involved in a disaster planning session, a disaster drill in Massachusetts. Disaster drill in Massachusetts. Actually, New York. I'm sorry. It was in New York, Albany, New York. We had planned that we would drill the police, the fire department, emergency response agencies, including fire, police, and sheriff's department personnel, as well as FBI as well, and ATF. We had drilled that someone tried to attack a Disney on Ice at the Albany Sports Arena. Then they took out and tried to attack the Children's Hospital there in Albany. We drilled that. These things are real. These situations are real. Someone tried to attack a hospital yesterday. Very sad. One person's dead, another is critically wounded today in the hospital. Hospitals are supposed to be a place where people come for care, to save lives. And yet we have stupid idiots that go around and try to shoot up hospitals. A temporary employee at a hospital. Very sad. Then he turns around and runs from the authorities and goes into Pennsylvania. Now he's under arrest in Pennsylvania, and he's going to face extradition back to Delaware, to be prosecuted in Delaware. Hopefully the judges will have enough sense to keep him there and keep him in prison without letting him go. You know what I think about these liberal judges? I don't trust them further than I can throw them. Now, guys, I want to bring up the USGS map for a little while here. I'm going to take down our webcam. I'm also going to take down our EMA banner here. Look what's going on here, guys. Look what's going on here. This is the USGS map here. USGS map. We've had another earthquake here in the Philippines. As you can see. This red earthquake just happened. Okay? This red earthquake just happened. It's a 5.0 large earthquake. 5.0 large earthquake. Remember, we had a 6.4 here yesterday. 5.0 here today. Another 5.0 here just a few minutes ago. Earthquakes keep happening here. USGS is only reporting 2 earthquakes here south of Mindanao Island. This is a 4.5 earthquake here. This is approximately 86 miles deep. This is a 4.7 earthquake. This is 80 miles deep here. These are not the only earthquakes here. These are aftershocks. But these are not the only earthquakes here. There are hundreds of earthquakes that hit this area still. Hundreds of earthquakes still hitting this area. After guys, a major earthquake hit here just off the southwest coast of Mindanao, Philippines here on Sunday. Sad state of affairs here. Very sad state of affairs. Again, USGS is never going to tell us the truth about anything. Not anything at all. Okay? Now, I want to go north here to north central Philippines here. This also is a 4.5 moderate earthquake here. This is 61 kilometers deep. 61 kilometers deep, about 40 miles deep. 4.5 earthquake here. 10 kilometers offshore here. 10 kilometers, 5 miles offshore here. Northeast of Luzon, Philippines. Luzon, Philippines. Okay? Now, again, this is off in the ocean. Nobody felt this earthquake. The ocean waters here absorbed the shockwaves of this quake. Nobody felt it. I don't think anybody felt those other earthquakes in southern Philippines down here that I just got through talking about. These were they're far enough offshore. I don't think anybody felt any of these 4 earthquakes here. This earthquake was 18 kilometers offshore. Okay, 18 kilometers, probably talking about 15 miles offshore. This is a 4.7. Moderate earthquake again, 31 kilometers offshore. The ocean waters absorbed the shock waves of this quake. These were small enough quakes that nobody felt these earthquakes at all. Again, the ocean waters absorbed the shock waves of these quakes here. Okay? Now, notice what may be happening here in Indonesia. Nothing, according to USGS. There are 98 earthquakes here in Indonesia today, 98 of them. USGS is reporting one 5.1 large earthquake here. Southeast of Java, Indonesia. Near Tombolaka, Indonesia. Tombolaka, Indonesia. 5.1 earthquake, 25 miles offshore. 25 miles offshore here on another island. On another island. And yes, there are small communities here on this island. These people felt this earthquake. These people felt this 5.1 large earthquake here. Again, people living on these islands are very destitute. They don't make much more than $300-400 a year. That's a year. Okay, very sad. When a moderate earthquake hits these people, they live in mud huts. They live in cardboard huts, wooden huts, covered by tarps. Covered by tarps. When an earthquake of this magnitude hits them, their lives are turned upside down. Okay? That's what happens here in Indonesia and also over here in Papua New Guinea. Over here in Papua New Guinea, we have another earthquake here. This is a 4.6 earthquake here, just offshore here. 4.6 earthquake, 78 kilometers west of Panguna, Papua New Guinea. This was a 95-kilometer deep earthquake, about 55 miles deep. Still a very shallow earthquake. Still a very shallow earthquake. Notice where this earthquake is. This is on one of 7 different tectonic plates here. One of 7 different tectonic plates in this region. The region spanning Australia, going over here to the Solomon Islands, Vanuatu area, Tonga, Fiji area, also down here into New Zealand. Also going up here into Southeast Asia, Taiwan, going up here into Japan. 7 different tectonic plates in play here. 7 different huge tectonic plates in play here, guys. What happens? What happens when this goes on? One tectonic plate is subducting on another, just like this. One tectonic plate is subducting on the other, just like this, causing earthquakes. Causing earthquakes. Okay? One plate going underneath the other, going down deep towards the mantle of the earth. Going deep towards the mantle of the earth, just like this, causing earthquakes. That's what we see happening here. The same thing is true over here in Japan. This is 240 kilometers offshore, east-northeast of Yamata, Japan. 4.7 watt earthquake here. Unreal. Now, let's go over here into Vanuatu. This is a 4.6 earthquake here in Vanuatu. Far enough offshore from Isango, Vanuatu, nobody felt it. 102 kilometers offshore. But it still happened here on the tectonic plate. That's what caused it. One plate subducting of the other here. We'll go over here into Tonga region. Tonga here. This is another 4.7 watt earthquake here. 4.7 watt earthquake here. 238 kilometers southeast of Hiiupo, Tonga. Southeast of Hiiupo, Tonga. Okay. Then we go further to the south over here in southern Fiji here. This is a 4.4 earthquake here. Unfortunately, USGS is saying this is 298 kilometers southwest of Humatonga. Humatonga here up to the northeast here. Southwest of Humatonga, but this is in the southern Fiji region. Southern Fiji region. 4.4 watt earthquake here. This is a deep earthquake. This is a deep earthquake, actually moderately deep. This is 246 kilometers deep, moderately deep earthquake. Nothing's going to happen as a result of this earthquake. Moderate earthquakes don't do anything. Deep earthquakes do. Deep earthquakes do. Now, let's back out here. Okay? I want to go over here to the Northwestern Pacific here. Just south of Kamchatka Peninsula here. We have another 4.4 earthquake here. Moderate earthquake as it is, south of Kamchatka Peninsula here. Out here in the Kuril Islands here. These islands belong to Russia. They're called the Kuril Islands. This just southeast of the Kuril Islands here. South of Kamchatka Peninsula. The ocean and waters of the Pacific Ocean absorbed the shockwaves of this quake. Offshore, nobody felt it at all. Again, look where it's at. It's on the edge of the plate here. The separation from the Pacific to the obtuse plate here. Separation from the Pacific to obtuse plate here. Then we come up here into the Aleutian Islands here. I want to go over here just for a minute here. This is a 3.0 small earthquake. 3.0 small earthquake. This earthquake north there is a 2.9 3.0 as well. This is a 2.6 minor earthquake here. These earthquakes, USGS has those in relationship to Attu Station here. This is Attu Station. Attu Station here. These earthquakes further to the southeast here are aftershocks. Aftershocks of a 6.6 earthquake that hit here several months ago. A very strong 6.6 earthquake hit here several months ago. These four earthquakes right here are aftershocks from that earthquake. This earthquake further to the southeast here is a 2.6 earthquake here. Four earthquakes here. Those other three, basically in a straight line north to south here, are also aftershocks of a 6.6 earthquake in the same region several months ago. There are other earthquakes here as well. Let's go over here to Attu Island here. This is an earthquake here, as you can see. 2.3 minor earthquake here. 153 kilometers west-northwest of Aveyah, Alaska. Aveyah, Alaska down here to the south. Over here you see a small swarm of earthquakes here. This is a 3.2 earthquake here. I'm sorry, not 3, but a 1.2 earthquake here. All these others are microquakes. All these others are microquakes, but look where these microquakes are. Look where these microquakes are. Surrounding the volcano. Surrounding the volcano, guys. As we said before, all volcanoes worldwide are recharging. All the volcanoes worldwide are recharging. My feeling about this is these earthquakes are a result of magma going into this volcano here. Magma going into this volcano, recharging it, and for a possible eruption in the near future. Possible eruption in the near future. When we have this many earthquakes surrounding the volcano, that's what's going on here. Okay? Now, further here to the east, you don't see too much else going on here. This is a 2.8 earthquake here, 111 kilometers southeast of Atka, Alaska. Relationship to those earthquakes there? Yes. Relationship to Atka, Alaska? Yes. Go out here further east here. This is a 2.6 earthquake here, southeast of Akutan, Alaska. Akutan, Alaska, out here in the Pacific, Northern Pacific Ocean. Okay? Then we go over here to land. Over here to land. This is in the southern peninsula of Alaska. This is also near Old Ililama volcano. All these earthquakes are in relationship to Old Ililama volcano. That's what's here. Old Ililama volcano. This earthquake is a 1.8 tremor here. Brand new, just happened. This earthquake is a 1.8 tremor here. For the south here, we have a 1.0. We have a 1.6. Offshore here, we have a 1.0 here and a 1.2 tremor here. Old Ililama volcano, guys. That's what's going on there. Go further north here. Okay? We got some earthquakes here. These earthquakes here are one, this is just south of Kodiak Island here, a 2.3 earthquake here. Over here in the Cook Inlet, the Cook Inlet. The Cook Strait is between both islands of New Zealand. This is Alaska, the Cook Inlet here of Alaska. This is a 2.4 minor earthquake here at the inlet to Cook Inlet. This is 1.5 tremor here. Going north here. Going north here. 1.6 tremor here. You go over here. Minus 0.2 microquake. Small swarm of microquakes here. Okay. Go further here to the north. Okay. Up here. We don't have anything necessarily going on at Mount Redoubt. This earthquake is south of Mount Redoubt. It's a 1.2 tremor here. This is Mount Redoubt right here. Volcano here in Alaska. Mount Redoubt. We go across the Cook Inlet here. We have got a 2.0 minor earthquake here. Not a big deal. Minor earthquakes aren't felt. Tremors aren't felt. But a minor earthquake nonetheless. Go further north here. This is another 2.9, 3.0 small earthquake. Nothing anywhere near here, near the capital of Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska, right here. However, we go across the Cook Inlet here. This is near Saucito, Alaska. 1.4 tremor here. 1.7 tremor here. Going up here to the north. 1.4 tremor there. Out here to the northwest. 1.4 tremor near Houston, Alaska. Houston, Alaska. Not Houston, Texas, but Houston, Alaska here. We go up here into Denali National Park. Southern Denali right here, brand new earthquake. Brand new earthquake here. Brand new earthquake here. This is 1.5 tremor here. 1.5 tremor here. Southern Denali, Alaska. We go up here to huge, tall volcano. I shouldn't say volcano. It could be a volcano, okay? This is the tallest volcano in North America. Tallest earthquake, I'm sorry, earthquake. Tallest mountain in North America, in Denali National Park, Alaska. We have 1.8 tremor here. Mount McKinley, Alaska. Mount McKinley, Alaska. We go here, further here to the northeast here. This is 1.7 tremor here. We go up here to the north of Denali, 2.09 earthquake. We continue going up here to the north, 1.2 tremor. Out here to the northwest is 0.8 microquake here near Nanana, Alaska. Another volcano right here, the Nanana volcano. There's 0.8 microquake here. Now let's go over here towards Fairbanks, Alaska. This is a 0.8 microquake here, south of Van Horn, Alaska here. South of Van Horn, Alaska, just south of Fairbanks. Then we go up to Fairbanks, Alaska here. Just north of Fairbanks, Alaska, this is 9 kilometers east of Fox, Alaska. 0.9 microquake, 1.0 tremor. USGS downgrades earthquakes to the nearest 0.9. This may have happened here. They downgrade the earthquake to the nearest 0.9. They have this as a 0.9 microquake. This may very well have been at least a 1.1 tremor here. That's why I say it's a 0.9, 1.0 tremor here. Just south of Fairbanks, Alaska here, or north of Fairbanks, Alaska here. Okay? We scroll out here. We have no earthquakes above or near the Arctic Circle. We have no earthquakes above or near the Arctic Circle. The other earthquake we have is in the thumb of Alaska here. The thumb of Alaska, I call it. This is a 2.7 earthquake here. 53 kilometers northeast of White Mountain, Alaska. White Mountain, Alaska here. Okay, in the thumb of Alaska. Nothing else is going on here in Alaska at all. Okay. Then we come over here to the Pacific Northwest. Yes, I'm going to talk about a little bit about the Pacific Northwest right now. Right here. Southwestern Washington. I can't even hardly say this. Cosmopolis, Washington. This is a 1.7 tremor here. Crazy, huh? It really is. Northeast of Seattle here. 1.2 tremor here. Northeast of Seattle, Washington here. Near Index, Washington. 1.5 kilometers west of Index, 1.5 kilometers, which is basically, actually, I'm sorry, it's not that. It's 3 kilometers, 1.5 miles west of Index, Washington. This is 1.2 tremor here. We go south here. What do we have here? Mount Rainier. Good old Mount Rainier. This is a 0.6 microquake. It's very interesting. We know for a fact that every day Mount Rainier has many, many hundreds of microquakes. USGS show 1. Mount Rainier has microquakes, tremors 1.0, 1.9, hundreds of those. They have minor earthquakes as well. Lots and lots of minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9. Most of the time they have 3.0, 3.5 small earthquakes here at Mount Rainier. USGS won't show it to us. On Thursday, we're going to talk about earthquakes here in the Pacific Northwest. Down here in the south. Where we at, guys? The foothills, the western foothills of Mount St. Helens. They have this is the minus 0.2 microquake, which says they should be above sea level. Above sea level. Guess what? This is 9.5 kilometers deep. 9.5 kilometers deep, over 4.5 miles deep. This is nowhere near being above sea level at all. This 0.2 is not above sea level at all. It's way deep outside the volcano, possibly in a magma chamber of Mount St. Helens. Possibly out here in the western magma chamber of Mount St. Helens. Magma does come off the Pacific Plate. Magma does come off the Pacific Plate headed for the volcanoes. We know that. There are magma tunnels headed off the Pacific Plate over here in Washington State and headed toward the volcanoes. That's what's happening here. This is just a 0.2 microquake here near Mount Rainier, or Mount St. Helens here, near Mount St. Helens here. Now look at this. Oregon State, not a thing. Not a freaking thing. Guys, this is not an anomaly. This did not happen today. There are hundreds of earthquakes all over Washington and Oregon. Hundreds of them. Up and down the coast, all over the states. Hundreds of them. USGS ought to be ashamed of themselves for not showing at least a handful or more of these earthquakes. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. Going down here into the southern Cascades subduction zone region, over here on the San Andreas Fault. On the San Andreas Fault here. This is a 2.3 minor earthquake here on the San Andreas Fault in the southern Cascade subduction zone region. The Cascade subduction zone runs all the way along the coastline of British Columbia, Canada, up here to Haida Gwaii Island here, runs all the way down south along the coastline of British Columbia, Canada, down the coastline of Washington State, Oregon, and down here into Northern California, the Cascade subduction zone. This is the Southern California, or Northern California part of the Cascade subduction zone. This is the Cascade subduction zone region south. San Andreas Fault here. Off to the west, we have another fault line. This also is in the Cascadia subduction zone region. The Gorda Escarpment. The Gorda Escarpment. The Gorda Escarpment runs about 300 miles west off the California coast here. Goes out here in the Pacific Ocean right here. This is another earthquake fault called the Gorda Ridge here. Gorda Ridge. Okay. This fault zone goes up here to the Blanca fracture zone. Blanca fracture zone. This goes off to the northwest here and connects with the Juan de Fuca fault. Juan de Fuca fault. This is a zigzag fault line going up here into the Pacific Northwest here. between the Juan de Fuca Fault and the Cascade Subduction Zone, right here in this region here to the north, is where they expect to see the Cascade earthquake. We're going to see the Cascade earthquake here up in the northern Pacific Ocean here, off the coast of Seattle, Tacoma area, and Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada, between the Juan de Fuca Fault and the Cascade Subduction Zone. That's important to remember. Please don't forget that. It's going to be a 9.0, 10.0 earthquake. Huge earthquake. It's going to be felt all the way up here into Alaska, all the way across the North American continent to the East Coast. All the way across the North American continent to the East Coast. And all the way down here to northern Mexico. All the way down the coastline to northern Mexico as well. Okay? The Cascade earthquake is going to occur off the coast of Washington and Vancouver Island. But the shock waves from that earthquake are going to be echoed all the way down here to California. And down here where the Cascade Subduction Zone meets up here at the triple junction with the San Andreas Fault. The San Andreas Fault is going to echo that energy all the way down the coastline into northern Mexico. All the way down here. That's going to create a huge disturbance. Huge disturbance. All the cities and towns around Vancouver Island, Vancouver, British Columbia, Washington, Oregon, and Northern California and points east will be devastated. Will be devastated. Can you imagine what's going to happen with people over here in Northern California? Being hit with even 8.5, 9.0 energy? If this earthquake is going to be a 10.0 earthquake up here in northern Washington, Vancouver, Canada, by the time it reaches down here in the Northern California region, it might as well be 9.0, 8.5 energy. Very devastating major earthquake. Very devastating major earthquake. When it reaches down here to San Francisco, California here, this area is going to be torn apart. The San Francisco Bay area is going to be torn apart. The ancillary faults all over San Francisco Bay Area are going to get this earthquake energy also. And that goes all up and down the faults here, including the Hayward and the Calaveras faults east of the San Francisco Bay. Going south, all the communities between San Francisco, including San Jose south here to Monterey, they're also going to be devastated here. Totally devastated. Guys, here, I've been here. I visited in San Francisco, I visited in Monterey Bay. I know it's here. I've been to the Monterey Bay Aquarium. When that earthquake hits here, this area is going to be destroyed. This area is going to be destroyed. There are hundreds of homes, thousands of homes up and down the coastline here were built in either the late 1800s up until including 1960s. They were built before earthquake faults were even taken into advantage of real estate planning, building homes and businesses, before we had earthquake standards. This area is going to be totally devastated. Going all the way down here in California. The San Andreas Fault goes inland, doesn't it? Goes inland. Can you see Parkfield, California here? Parkfield, California is the center part of California here. Fairfield, California is the earthquake capital of not just California, but the earthquake capital of the world. More earthquakes hit here in Fairfield, California than anywhere else in the world. We have a 0.6 microquake here. We have a 0.8 microquake here. We have a 1.0 tremor here. Fairfield, California. No one probably even felt these earthquakes. These are minor microquakes and minor tremors here. Nobody even felt them. But when that huge earthquake hits here on the Cascade earthquake, it's going to be felt all the way down here as well. We go south here. We go further south here into Los Angeles area. Guess what? Guess what? This area probably is going to feel at least 8.07.5 earthquakes. 8.07.5 earthquakes. Right here on the San Andreas Fault. Fraser Park, California. 1.0 tremor here. South of the fault. 2.3 earthquake here near Fillmore, California. Fillmore, California. Over here near the coast, Malibu, California. 1.6 tremor here. But you see the San Andreas Fault going down here, guys? You need to be very much aware of this. Guess what's happening here? Guess what's happening right here? Right here. See Muscoy, California? Literally right on the San Jacinto Fault. And just to the east of there, we have the San Andreas. Both the San Jacinto and the San Andreas Fault are ready to pop. Both the San Andreas and the San Jacinto Fault is ready to pop right now. Right now, guys. Immediately. Right now. USGS is not even showing all the earthquakes here at all. They're not. They are out and out lying to the public. Out and out lying to the public. Right here. Fontana, California. Fontana, California has a seismograph here. On January 12th this year was the final time that Caltech and USGS let us see the seismographs or seismograms that are computer readouts from the seismograph machine itself. The last time we saw the seismograms here in Fontana or anywhere else here in Southern California. They shut the viewing off here to all of us. No one but anybody cannot see any earthquakes here in Southern California except on the map. They're only going to show us what they want us to see. There are hundreds of earthquakes all over Los Angeles County, Orange County, and San Bernardino County. Over 400 earthquakes here in greater Los Angeles area, including San Bernardino and Orange County. Over 400 earthquakes a day. What is USGS showing? What's USGS showing us here? A lot of nothing. 5 earthquakes. 5 total earthquakes here in the greater Los Angeles area. And yet, they know for very much a fact that the San Jacinto Fault here, the San Jacinto Fault where you see these earthquakes here, and also to the east, the San Andreas Fault are getting ready to pop. They could pop at a moment's notice. They could pop within the next hour, tonight, tomorrow, the next day, next week, or even next year. I don't think it's going to be that long before it pops. And when the San Andreas Fault pops, the San Jacinto and all the other faults here in LA are going to pop as well. All the other ancillary faults here in Southern California, Los Angeles area. Going in here is San Diego, and going down here into the Southern California Imperial Valley here. Ancillary faults here. The San Andreas Fault runs down here into the Imperial Valley, just east of the Salton Sea here. Just east of the Salton Sea here. Right here, this is Bombay Beach. Bombay Beach here. Bombay Beach has hundreds of earthquakes a day hitting Bombay Beach. USGS is not showing us one of them. Bombay Beach has 3.0 to 4.5 earthquakes hitting here every day. 10 to 15, 3.0 small quakes to 4.5 moderate earthquakes happen here at Bombay Beach every day. USGS doesn't show it. Yes, they do have tremors. They have minor earthquakes as well. USGS not showing any of it. None of it. Not a lick of it. Southwest of Bombay Beach here. Out here in the center part of the Salton Sea here. We're seeing a 0.8 microquake here today. USGS is saying this is 8 kilometers, 4 miles southwest of Bombay Beach. Yes, it is. But guys, what you all need to know is USGS is also not telling us what else is also here. USGS is not telling us what also is here. A volcano. The Salton Butte volcano is right here. The Salton Butte volcano is right here. The Salton Butte volcano is active. It's a very active volcano, and it could erupt at any time. It could erupt at any time. Now, as I said a few minutes ago, the San Andreas Fault enters underneath the Salton Sea here at Bombay Beach. Then it comes out from the Salton Sea here near a town called Calipatria, California. A town called Calipatria, California here. Right there. The San Andreas Fault comes out here. Then it runs down here to the southwest to a town called Westmoreland, California. Remember the name Westmoreland. Again, right now, Caltech and USGS are only letting us see the seismographs, or I'm sorry, the seismograms, which are the computer readout from the seismographs. They're only letting us see the seismograms from Calipatria and Bombay Beach at the present time. They're not letting us see Westmoreland here. Yes, they had a seismograph here in Westmoreland. They turned it off to the public. The Westmoreland seismograph usually showed us minor tremors and minor earthquakes. 1.0 tremors, 1.9 tremors, to 2.0, 2.9 earthquakes here in Westmoreland. Going south here, Brawley. At present time, we have never been able to access a seismograph here in Brawley, California. However, further to the south here, further to the south, we come down here to the town of Imperial, California. A town of probably 10, 15,000 people now. Might have had 5,000 people about 15, 20 years ago. Imperial, California. Here in Imperial, we had tremors, minor earthquakes, and also small 3.0 to 3.5 earthquakes here in the town of Imperial. Again, USGS not showing us any earthquakes yet at all. Nothing. Nothing. This earthquake northeast of the town of Imperial This is a 2.0 earthquake here. 7 kilometers, just under 4 miles northeast of Imperial, the town of Imperial here in the Imperial Valley. 2.01 earthquake here. Southeast of Imperial here. Actually, east of El Centro. East of El Centro here, we have 2 earthquakes here. This is the 1.7 tremor here. This is the 1.3 tremor here. This is just west of El Centro, California. There was a seismograph here in El Centro. They shut the seismograph down here. They're not letting us see all the earthquakes here in the town of El Centro. Sad, very sad, because here in El Centro, not only did we have microquakes, we had tremors 1.0, 1.9, minor earthquakes 2.0, 2.9, and 3.0 to 3.5 earthquakes here every day. 9 to 15, meaning the number of earthquakes, 9 to 15, 3.0, 3.5 earthquakes here in the town of El Centro every day. Every day, guys. Yet still, the United States Geological Survey is not showing us anything. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. USGS is only doing a disservice to itself. Because, guys, when we have earthquakes like these, like I've been talking about, that only means we're going to have more extensive earthquake here. A large earthquake. It's coming. It's coming. Over here in Holtville, they have a seismograph here. They also shut this seismograph down to us. The seismograph here in Holtville was showing us tremors and minor earthquakes every day here in Holtville. And yes, occasionally we saw 3.0, 3.5 earthquakes here in Holtville as well. Now, let me back this out here a little bit. As I said before, the San Andreas Fault comes out of underneath the Salton Sea here near Calipatria. Then it comes down here to Westmoreland. Then it runs right down through Brawley, right down through the center of the Imperial Valley here, right here. This again is 7 kilometers northeast of Imperial. 2.0 earthquake on the San Andreas Fault. On the San Andreas Fault. And the San Andreas Fault continues to go south here. It crosses the U.S. international border here with Mexico. Just before it crosses the border, out here to the east of the San Andreas Fault. This is another 1.3 tremor here, just north of the U.S. international border here, near Meadowland, California. East of El Centro. We showed you these 2 earthquakes here. Then it crosses the border right here. Crosses the border here. Continues to go into northern Mexico here. I'm going to hold up right here for good reason. See this earthquake here, this earthquake fault zone here? The San Andreas Fault here? We have something else going on here, another volcano. The Cerro Prieto volcano is right here. You always know it's a Cerro Prieto volcano because people have carved the image of a huge bird here, a bird of prey, a phoenix, carved into the upper summit of Cerro Prieto volcano. A Cerro Prieto volcano. Men have drilled into the upper magma chambers of the volcano here to obtain steam to power turbines here, right here in this area, to power turbines down here in this area to generate electricity for the Mexican government, for the Mexican people right here. That's what they do right here. You even can see the turbines right here. Because of privacy situations they have with U.S. government spying on the citizens of Mexico or the citizens of any other country, this map is not going to let us show exactly what these turbines look like. They look like the same turbines we can find up in the Imperial Valley, just south of the volcano, so like we see in the geysers facility in Sonoma County, California, just like we see in Reno, Nevada, just like we see at Coza Volcano. Turbine facilities where steam is obtained from the volcano to power turbines to generate electricity here in northern Mexico. That's what they're doing here. Then as you can see, the San Andreas Fault continues here. It runs all the way down here into the Gulf of California here. Into the Gulf of California here. Now, and yes, we do have earthquakes out here in the Gulf of California on the San Andreas Fault. The San Andreas Fault continues along the shoreline of Mexico down into southern Mexico right here. USGS never shows all the earthquakes here. They might show one or two, but that's it. Today, they're not showing any earthquakes here. There are 48 earthquakes here in southern Mexico. 48 earthquakes here in southern Mexico, ranging from Puerto Vallarta here to the north, going all the way down south here, just north of Guatemala. Just north of Guatemala. The only earthquake USGS is showing us here is a 4.1 earthquake here. 4.1 earthquake here, 27 kilometers southwest of La Jorgueta, Poblado 12, Mexico, southern Mexico here. We have moderate earthquakes such as this. It's a 4.1 earthquake. We have 4.0, 4.1, 4.3, 4.5 earthquakes here, as well as 3.5, 3.6, 3.7 earthquakes, small earthquakes all the way up here to Puerto Vallarta. Going up here in the southern Baja, right here, Cancun, Mexico. They're not showing any other earthquakes here, but there are earthquakes here. There are tremors 1.0, 1.9, and 1 2.0 earthquake here in Cancun. 1 2.0 minor earthquake here in Cancun, Mexico. That's all. That's all. But they're not showing it. They're not showing much of anything here. They're not showing any earthquakes here in Central America. There are 18 earthquakes here in Central America. 18 earthquakes here in Central America. They're showing one earthquake right here, northern Colombia. Villanueva, Colombia. 4.7 moderate earthquake here. This came out originally as a 4.9 moderate earthquake, 4.9, 5.0. Downgraded to 4.7 earthquake here in Villanueva, Colombia. They're not showing any other earthquakes here in Ecuador, Peru, and no earthquakes here in Chile. That is an understatement, pretty much an understatement. I think there are at least 39 earthquakes here in Chile. 39 earthquakes here in Chile today, including those down here, near Valparaiso, Chile down here, going all the way up here to northern Chile, Atacama, Tarapacá, Chile here, going up here into Peru, southern Peru. I believe there are a total of 45 earthquakes all over the coastline here of South America, the western coastline of South America. They're not showing one earthquake, but there's only one earthquake in Villanueva, Colombia. That's it. That's it. Over here in the Atlantic Ocean, the central mid-Atlantic, we had a 6.4 earthquake here. They've upgraded to a 6.6 earthquake. They've upgraded this to a 6.6 earthquake here in the north central Atlantic Ocean. 6.6 earthquake. Why? What does this matter? Before I answer that, I want to go south here to the Antarctic Ridge, the South Sandwich Islands here near the North Antarctic Ridge. This is a 5.0 earthquake. Came out as a 5.1. USGS downgraded to 4.9. A 6.6 earthquake here in the central mid-Atlantic Ocean. As I've been telling you for the past 2 years, the Atlantic plate here is expanding. The mid-Atlantic plate here is expanding. It's going like this, separating. At some point in time, the mid-Atlantic plate is going to buckle. It's going to buckle. What happens when that happens? When we have an expansion between plates or in the middle of plates, what is going on here? Magma from down deep in the earth goes in between those oceanic layers, goes in between the plate layers here. Yes, we could actually have some undersea volcanoes here in the Atlantic Ocean. We could also see some up and coming islands here popping up here in the Atlantic Ocean. There are already islands here in the Atlantic Ocean, just like we have in the Pacific. But with that expansion of the mid-Atlantic plate, pushing Europe and Africa in an easterly direction, pushing North America, including Greenland, Canada, and Mexico, in a southwesterly direction, pushing South America also in a southwesterly direction. That's what's going on. But as I said, that mid-Atlantic expansion could cause magma to rush into that expansion area and maybe even cause another undersea volcano here. I'm throwing that out here. That is a real possibility here. That's a real possibility here. Now again, USGS is not even showing any of the earthquakes here in Europe at all. They're not showing any earthquakes here at all. They're showing one earthquake here in China. 6.2 magnitude strong earthquake here in Dunhuang, China. Dunhuang, China. Dunhuang, China. Dunhuang, China. 6.2. Sorry, not 6.2. A large 5.2. I'm sorry. A large 5.2 earthquake here, Dunhuang, China. They're not showing any earthquakes here in Myanmar here, but there are earthquakes here. There are earthquakes over here in the Himalaya Mountains. Again, the Himalaya Mountains here are the edges of the plate. Just as we see the edge of the plate here coming out of Sumatra, Indonesia here, just south of Sumatra, Indonesia here, south and west Sumatra, going up here in the Indian Ocean, the edge of the plate here, going in up here into Thailand, Myanmar area, going into the Himalaya Mountains is the edge of the plate here. Southern China, Himalaya Mountains, Tibet, Nepal, edge of the plate here. There are earthquakes here in the Himalaya Mountains here. There are earthquakes here in Afghanistan. Earthquakes here in Afghanistan come from the Himalaya Mountains. They're pushed to the northeast here into Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, all the stands here, including Pakistan. Okay? There are earthquakes here. USGS is not showing any of them, not one. Not a single one. As I said before, this area between Turkey and Syria here has about 42 earthquakes today, 42. These are all aftershocks of a 9.0, 10.0 earthquake that happened here February 3rd, 2023. It left a 14-mile-long fissure 18 stories deep. An 18-story building could have fit in that fissure here in eastern Turkey. As a result of the 9.0, 10.0 earthquake that happened here 3 years ago, February 3rd, 2023. Aftershocks here. Earthquakes all over Turkey, northern Turkey, central Turkey, and western Turkey, and southern Turkey as well. Earthquakes out here in the Aegean Sea. Earthquakes here in Greece. Not showing any. Earthquakes over here in Sicily and southern Italy. Southern Italy here. Let's go over here to Campo Fligre. Campo Fligre right here. We have some tremors and minor earthquakes happening here. 1.0 to 1.9 tremors happening here, and 2.0, 2.2 earthquakes happen here at Campo Fligre. What are you seeing here? You are seeing craters. Craters were left here thousands of years ago after another eruption. After another eruption here. Over here to the southeast here. Vesuvius volcano. Up until recently, Vesuvius volcano was also steaming. Yes, Vesuvius volcanoes could still erupt. But now we are seeing earthquakes here at Campo Fligre. We had a lot of earthquakes happening here at Campo Fligre in the very recent past, last year. They had evacuated areas here as well as over here around Vesuvius volcano. Urban areas south of Vesuvius here, northeast of Vesuvius here, west of Vesuvius, and north of Vesuvius here. Huge metropolitan areas. Some of these areas were evacuated as a result of being very close to Vesuvius. Vesuvius was showing signs of possible eruption. It still could. It still could erupt. Now, guys, this is real. This is real. Right now, over here, Campo Fligre is still shaking here. We're still getting tremors. We're still getting minor earthquakes. Nobody is feeling these tremors, minor earthquakes, but it is still shaking here, nonetheless. There is active magma beneath the surface of this area. There's active magma beneath the surface of this area. And yes, guys, this area is also heavily populated. Very heavily populated. You need to be aware of it. Because what could happen? We could see a volcanic eruption here at Campo Fligre. Very likely. Very likely. North central Italy, we've had 25 earthquakes here today. 1.0, 2.5 tremors and minor earthquakes. North central Italy. As I said before in previous episodes of this program, as a result of these swarms of earthquakes, we've had two large earthquakes here, a 5.0 and a 5.1 earthquake here. The 5.1 hit over here in the Tyrolean Sea here, off the coast of central Italy, 5.1 earthquake. But on land here, we had a 5.0 earthquake hit here on land. As a result of all these swarms of earthquakes that happen every day, 20 to 30 minor tremors and minor earthquakes happen here every day in north central Italy. 1.0, 2.9 earthquakes here every day. Every day. Over here in the Alps Mountains, earthquakes happen every day, mostly tremors. Mostly tremors, yet we do get some 2.0, 2.2 earthquakes here in the Alps Mountains. Going here north, Switzerland and Germany, tremors and minor earthquakes happening here. 1.0 to 1.9 tremors, 2.0, 2.5 minor earthquakes happening here. Germany and Switzerland. Germany and Switzerland also here in France. USGS not showing us earthquakes at all. None. Minor earthquakes and tremors over here in Spain. USGS showing us none at all. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not showing us much of anything, guys. Not showing us much of anything. I come back out here into the Caribbean Sea. See three earthquakes here, perpendicular, running north and south here. This is a 3.1 small earthquake, 88 kilometers north-northeast of Cruz Bay, British Virgin Islands. This earthquake is a 3.7, 58 kilometers northeast of Cruz Bay, US and British Virgin Islands here. South there, a 3.5 earthquake here. These are small earthquakes. Small earthquakes. 53 kilometers east of Cruz Bay. Craziness. Craziness. That's what's going on here. We have one earthquake east of there, west there, New Caribe Island here, north of Puerto Rico, northeast of Puerto Rico. One earthquake here in southwestern Puerto Rico here, 3.1 small earthquake south of Puerto Rico. This is an aftershock of two 8.0, 8.4 earthquakes that happened here. Back here, December 26th, December 28th, 2019. Man-made earthquakes, 8.0, 8.4 earthquakes here, December 26th and December 28th, 2019. We are still seeing small and minor earthquakes here. This is the 3.1 small earthquake here, 6 kilometers east of La Porguera, Puerto Rico. Aftershock. Aftershock skies. That's what's happening here. Over here on the northeast side of the Dominican Republic, this also is a 3.1 earthquake here. Dropped off by this earthquake fault called the Cayman Ridge. The Cayman Ridge. The Cayman Trench here begins over here in Guatemala, runs all the way through the Caribbean Sea here. Then all of a sudden takes a route to the north here, goes south of the Cayman Islands here, continues eastbound over north of Jamaica, skirts the island of southern Cuba here, continues eastbound north of Haiti, north of the Dominican Republic, and dropped off this earthquake here, this brand new earthquake here, just happened, 3.1 earthquake here, northeast of the Dominican Republic. Yeah, that's happened. That's happened here. Now, guys, I know it's quite late here, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I'm going to stop talking about earthquakes for a few minutes. My messenger app was calling. My friend Dave Delisle from Canada, from northeastern Canada, is trying to call us. Now, guys, I want to take this call. I want to take this call. I'm going to try to call Dave back right now. Hold on. Now, those of you who subscribe to our channel, Dave Delisle told me in his chat, on Messenger chat we have together, Dave Delisle said he had resubscribed YouTube, unsubscribe him. Guys, if YouTube does that to you, make sure you're still subscribed. If you're not subscribed, please resubscribe to our channel. That's imperative. We want to keep you subscribed to our channel so you can find us here on YouTube. YouTube continues to unsubscribe people. Resubscribe. And when you do that, there's a little bell icon right next to the subscription button. Click on that bell icon. When you click on that bell icon, there's a drop-down menu of 3 items. A drop-down menu of 3 items. Click on that bell icon. Then click on the word all, A-L-L. That should get you notified when we come on there. Maybe once a week, you need to make sure YouTube has not unsubscribed you. YouTube unsubscribes a lot of our moderators here on this channel. They unsubscribe a lot of moderators on this channel. Now, let me see if I can bring up Dave Delisle here on the chat. That way he can talk to you. Dave, if you're listening to our broadcast tonight, please call me back. It's not letting me call you. Dave, if you're listening to this channel, please call us back. We'd appreciate that a lot. That's sad I can't call them, but they can call me. That's wild. Dave, please call me back. I was going to have Dave and Barry Prince here, Dave Delisle and Barry Prince from Canada, talk about issues Canadians are feeling in Canada. They're experiencing a lot of things in Canada, guys. A lot. For instance, let's talk about this. Let's talk about what they're going through in Canada, okay? Right now, Canada's going through a lot. Canada is navigating a technical recession, following 2 consecutive quarters of GDP decline, financial decline in their economy in Canada. Why? Because they're prime minister in Canada. Okay? This decline in their financial stability in Canada has fueled severe affordability for people in Canada. Affordability of food, affordability of transportation, cars, buses, and such, affordability for housing. Huge housing and food crisis is here in Canada every day because of the Prime Minister of Canada. To combat high costs, the Canadian government has launched 2 major initiatives, including a multi-million-dollar food system overhaul, aimed at bringing up grocery monopolies and reducing prices, bringing up more people that are manufacturing groceries and commodities, thereby reducing prices. But this government in Canada is fouled, just like our Democrat communists here in this country are fouled. It's leading to a huge recession in Canada. Huge, huge recession here in Canada. Okay? huge recession in Canada, particularly manufacturing. Also, trade uncertainties, trade tariff uncertainties. 2 years ago, or starting about a year and a half ago, the U.S. government instituted trade policies, tariff policies all over the world. U.S. tariff policies has played a major role in the downturn of Canada's economy. Labor market. Despite the broader recession, Canada saw an unexpected surge in job growth, particularly in construction of new homes and warehousing and transportation. The administration of Prime Minister Mark Carney has attempted to cushion consumer wallets by implementing a gas tax holiday, reducing gas taxes, reducing the supply of gas, and reducing the amount of money people are paying for gas. Mark Carney is pledging massive investments into the grocery sector and lower food prices, lowering also gas prices to some extent, thereby leaving the people with more money in their back pocket every month. But right now, Canada is going through a recession. Prime Minister Carney's cabinet changes. The Liberal government has seen shifts in caucuses, the different parties in Congress and in Canada. Notably, the departure of star environmentalist Steve Guilbeault. He's gone. Some of the other communists in the Canadian Parliament are also gone. Totally gone. Hopefully for a good long time. Because communism is never good in any country. Let's talk about the border. We're always talking about the border here in the United States, both the northern border and the southern border. Carney has agreed to pause the opening of a new $4.7 billion bridge connecting Windsor and Detroit at the request of the U.S. government. Pause the opening of a $4.7 million bridge connecting Windsor, Ontario, Canada, and Detroit at the request of the U.S. government. Why has the U.S. government requested pausing the opening? Because we want to make sure that our border is secure here in the United States. And the more communists, more Muslims, and more other characters, murders and crime elements don't come back in this country. They've come into Canada already. We don't want them back here in the U.S. Alberta to the west has also had tensions. The Alberta province of Canada has also had tensions. The federal government in Alberta and the Alberta Premier Daniel Smith unveiled a pact to fast-track a major Pacific-bound oil pipeline. To fast-track a major Pacific-bound oil pipeline to prevent the province from pursuing separation referendums. The province of Alberta, Canada, is trying to lower the gas prices so citizens of Alberta don't join the United States. That's what they've been trying to do. They try to be separating themselves from Canada and join the United States. There's Dave again. It's still not letting me get in here. Hey, Dave, it's not letting me answer you. David's not letting me answer you. I'm sorry. Doggone it. Yeah, Linda Covington, I don't blame you. We don't want any more communists or any other murderous or law-breaking characters here in the United States and Canada. I'll throw them out of Canada. Let me tell you something else that's going on. Over in Europe, also in England, Ireland and England are attempting to expel Muslim citizens and expatriates out of England, out of the British Empire. Over in Ireland, the Muslim population in Ireland has been burning down homes and apartment complexes, burning down other buildings because they don't like conditions in Ireland. Just like they don't like conditions here in the United States, they're trying to burn it down, causing problems, causing all kinds of problems. They don't like it. They don't like it at all. Guys, it's bad. It's bad. It's pretty bad. And Canada also ought to expel the undesirables that came into Canada also during the 2020 to 2024 era. They ought to also expel all of those undesirables out of their country. Send them back to where they came from. Send them back to where they came from. Unreal. Unreal, guys. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. Do you guys have any questions for me? My friend Ann Pickering's here. Welcome back, Ann Pickering. Haven't seen Ann here in a while. Thank you for being here, Ann. We appreciate you. Also, guys, please, before you leave today, please give us a thumbs up. Let us know we appreciate you calling and coming here to our channel. Yeah, Dave, you can call me on my phone. I'll answer here and bring you in on my phone. Okay? I got my phone set up here. No, these undesirables won't assimilate. They come in from other countries, but they don't assimilate in our countries because they want their will to be known. They only want their will to be known at all. They don't assimilate in our countries at all. Sad thing. Sad thing. Hey guys, you here?
Yeah, I just got a call there. We've been having trouble with this. I think it's our censorship here.
It's possible, yeah. It's possible. But now you're here. How about that?
Yeah. I just left a message for Barry, so he's supposed to be waiting. He's been waiting too. We've been waiting for your call. I was like, something's going on. And I found out that I wasn't even subscribed again.
Yeah, and I couldn't call you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They wouldn't let me call you. Anyway, you can keep trying to get a hold of Barry, but I want to ask you, what are some of the things you want to discuss here and let everybody else know here while we're talking about this? We've been talking about Canada here.
Yeah, Canada. You mean China?
Yeah, China.
With Islamic rule.
Yeah, true. It's sad.
That's what we need to talk about. Barry. Hey, Barry, you there? All right, put your headset on. Barry. Oh. Can you hear me now? You can. I can't hear you. Oh, what'd you do? Can't hear you. I can hear you. You sound like you're 1,000 miles away. Well, I probably am. Isn't that about the distance from BC to Ontario? I've got my volumes up. My volumes are maxed. Really? Well, what did I do? Huh? What did I do? I don't know what's going on, but I can barely hear you. Yeah, it's got to be this censorship garbage.
Dadgummit.
Do you want me to call you back in a second and try it again? Yeah, let's try it again. All right, well, you hang up and I'll call you back. And try it again. Yeah. Sorry, Ron. This is the way it is in Canada.
Guys, the picture on the right side, just left above my head here, that is Dave Delisle. The guy on the left is Barry Prince. He has his own radio show on internet radio. Okay? Both Dave lives over in Eastern Canada and Barry lives over in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Near Vancouver.
Near Vancouver, yes. Thing's called Terrace Canada, isn't it?
Yeah.
Terrace Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, Terrace Canada.
Hey, Barry, you gotta hang up, man. It's the only way I'm gonna be able to call you back. Otherwise, I'm losing everybody. Can you hear me? I can hear you. I can hear you.
I can hear you too.
Hear me.
I can hear you.
There you go. Well, there you go. There you go. Yeah. See, you fixed it. Yeah. I fixed it. You fixed it. See? That's even better.
Yeah, it are.
Now if we could move to Ottawa and fix all that problem, we'd be in great shape.
True story. True story.
Yeah, they're passing censorship laws over here like it's going out of style.
Yeah.
And they're going to come after all of us. Absolutely. We're all going to end up in jail. Hopefully there's a big enough jail where we're all together at least.
I hope so.
All the outspoken people that like to tell the truth, because the truth is something that they're going against.
Yeah.
They want us all in jail. It's their truth. It's beyond ridiculous. It really is beyond ridiculous. I never thought I'd see this level of bull crap in my life, but now I'm looking at it. And it's driving me crazy, man. It's driving me insane. Yeah. Hey, just getting older is driving me insane, and that is just beyond anything that I can do. So are we on the air right now, Ron?
We're on the air.
Yeah. So, well, hello there, folks in Radio Land. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Ron's emergency broadcast. Welcome to the program. We're going to talk about some crazy stuff here in the next little bit. So, if I don't happen to slip on a word once in a while, please forgive me, because I get so flipping pissed off when I start talking about this stuff. It brings out the worst in me. So I'll try and behave myself. Atta boy. Hello, everybody. I love you guys. You're all great.
Hey,
ladies and gentlemen.
I've been talking about Canada for the last little while, about things happening literally all over Canada, from Alberta over to the East Coast. Barry, tell us what's going on over there on the East Coast, or West Coast of Canada.
West Coast. Columbia is turned into a poop hole, is what it is. It is unbelievable what the NDP government is trying to do in British Columbia, but it's just a mirror image of exactly what we see going on in Ottawa. It's the same agenda being played out across the country, only slightly different players. The NDP government is worse than it ever happened to BC. They stole the last election. We know for a fact that they stole it. Nobody's holding them to account. It is absolute insanity what's going on in our country. We have nothing, no ability to stop the crap that's coming down the tubes, man. Yeah, it drives me nuts. We should have some form of recall legislation in Canada, but we have nothing to stop these guys. And they're just running around. Like, Carney's got a majority government now because he talked some liberals and conservatives to crossing the floor. Can you believe that crap? That's allowed to go on?
Yeah.
That should never be allowed to go on. That should never, ever should an elected official, an MP that got elected under a conservative banner, be allowed to walk across the floor and join the Liberal Party. Because the constituents in that riding didn't vote for Liberal, they voted for Conservative. So what is going on in our country, man? What is going on? Yeah, but BC too, First Nations can walk in and take over your house without anything. There's nothing you can do about it. I know. Isn't that wonderful? The government is putting in mechanisms of division in this country, and I call for what I see. I see it with. I call it what I see is divisions. Everything they do is designed to divide us. Now you got the Indians saying we're going to take over all the land in Canada. I mean, what the hell are we doing? What are we going to go back to 1764? It's just absolute insanity. What are we doing giving the Indians the land back? They don't own it. They just got here before us. It's a geological fact that they only came over on the land bridge that was between Alaska and the Bering Sea and Russia, and 10,000, 11,000 years ago. They date them back, and all their DNA, every North American Indian's DNA ties back to Mongolians. So what? They got here before us. That's the only difference between them and us. Nobody has claim to the land. Nobody has claim to the land, and yet the government is doing it. They're dividing us, guys, and I can see it happening. It pees me off beyond anything I want to talk about. And if I do talk about it, I'm labeled a racist. Yeah, I know. As soon as I talk about anything, I'm labeled a racist.
We are too.
I know.
I'm labeled a racist every time I open my mouth and talk about all the rioters and stupid people that are doing stupid things. The other day I talked about what was going on in Ireland with all the Muslim rioters burning down of Dublin, because they're burning down Dublin, Ireland. And,
yeah, they are.
And the British Crown wants to get rid of these idiots that are burning British Columbia, not British Columbia, the British Isles there, trying to turn them upside down. They want them out of Britain total. They want them out of Ireland. They want them out of Scotland. Want them out of Great Britain, period. But these guys are still here right now. And now they're saying, we're going to take our balls and go home because we don't like you anymore because you won't let us stay here. You won't turn over to us the way we want to do things. So we're going to take our ball back and go home. Leave. Get out. Get the crap out of Dodge. We don't want you here.
The problem is that in Canada here, because of what happened with the convoy, too many people are afraid to stand up because they've seen what happened, and nothing's really been done to correct it.
No.
None of the people got their money back. None of that. The government kept the money, and even though they were found wrong in court, they're not gonna give in.
No.
And they've even said that what they're going to do, any other convoys or anything, they're going to crush them. And the people in Canada, I don't know why they're terrified of being crushed, because the reality is that's what's happening now. Yeah. And they're too stupid to figure that out.
Sad.
Canadians are going to get what they deserve, Dave. I hate to say it, but we're going to get what they deserve. They're not standing up. They're not becoming aware. They're not speaking out in volumes. We should be screaming as a unified body right now at the top of our lungs against the government.
Yeah.
Because of what they're doing, and people just aren't paying attention. They don't seem to give a damn. And I don't know why that is, man. Well, I don't know why that is. I don't understand Canadians. The thing now is that a lot of the people that voted Liberal are now saying, hey, wait a minute. What's going on here? This isn't what we wanted. This isn't what he said was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen, but they believed CBC. And now they're seeing the perhaps Carney said when he first got elected. He was going to make this the strongest nation in the world. He was going to rebuild the economy, blah, 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 blah. Nothing he has said has come true. Nothing.
Canada's in a recession right now.
Yeah, I
We're
think
the
it's
only
worse
G7
than that.
country that's in it. We're the only G7 country that's in a recession right now.
Yeah.
All the other G7 countries are actually doing quite well. They're thriving. So what's wrong with Canada? Liberals. That's what's wrong with Canada. And we got to get them out of there. We got to get them out. I don't care what we got to do. I can't say that. I was going to say, give me a suitcase nuke and let me go to Ottawa, but I can't say that.
No, you can't say that. No.
I don't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
No, see, the problem is that we as Canadians have become too complacent.
Yeah, that's true too.
And the reality is that we're just accepting everything that's going on. And I mean, if it was 25, 30, 40 years ago, all these veterans that fought to keep the country free, they'd be in Ottawa with their weapons.
Yeah.
And most of the ones that I talk to say the same thing. If I was younger and still had my weapons, I'd be in Ottawa. Because this is not what we fought for.
It's absolute craziness, man.
It is.
And it's getting worse, Dave. It's getting worse and worse and worse. They're not going to stop until they reach their end game. And their end game isn't pretty at all. It's nothing I want for my children.
No. Well,
So I'm ready to go take my gun up and go to war with them. If that's what it's going to take. I'll take one of them out with me. Guaranteed I'll take one out before they get me. And if they get me, so be it. I'm not going to go to fight that.
But
I think
we need to stand up without weapons and have them pull the weapons on us, just like they're doing in Iran. And that way, maybe some of the countries in the world, maybe Trump will come in to help us.
Possibly.
Because we need help.
We need Trump.
Canadian people. Well, yeah, I believe that. I mean, honestly, I'm not opposed to being an American country or part of America. I'm not opposed to that. Based on what I'm seeing, we've lost what Canada was all about. It's not even the same country that we grew up in.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad. It's not the U.S. is not the same country that I grew up in either. Things have totally changed. I mean, abruptly changed. You know, it used to be that I could go out after dark as a kid, ride my bicycle as much as I want, and be out there until 9 o'clock during the summertime because it's light outside. Heaven forbid a kid is outside his yard at 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. All of a sudden there's problems. Children can't be outside at all. Yes, they're allowed in their backyard sometimes, but anymore, children are not allowed to be children anymore. You can't send a child to the grocery store like we did when we were kids. My parents allowed us to go to the grocery store by ourselves at maybe 10, 12 years old. 10, 12 years old, all the time, alone. Prior to that, we were with our parents. But once we got 8, 10 years old, our parents allowed us to go to the grocery store by ourselves.
Yeah. And you know what's even worse is there was a time when I was young too, where we could leave our doors and windows open and we didn't have to worry about crime.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore.
No.
And over here, they're telling us, our government's telling us, listen, if somebody's going to come into your house to take your car, just leave your car keys by the door and let them have them. Well, I'm going to let them have it, but it'll be a bat. Welcome to my house.
Exactly.
If you're going to come into my house, you better get right with Jesus because you're going to meet him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to shoot the person and ask questions later.
I'm going
to hit with a bat.
I'm not afraid to use the firearm, man. If somebody comes into my house in the middle of the night, they better be prepared.
Yeah.
I have a firearm by my bed.
Me too.
I got a bat and I call it my board of education.
Now the RCMP will come knocking on my door. I said that on the air. They monitor. Okay, RCMP, come and get me. Come and get me.
Well, at our age, what are they going to do to us, really? I mean, the way we are health-wise and everything, what are they going to do? What do we got? A couple of years maybe left? I mean,
yourself,
really. Yeah. Well, I know with my health, that's a very good possibility.
I got 10 left at least. I want to make 80.
My health, the way it is, I can say that.
I hope you're around here for more than 5 or 10, 12 years even, Dave. Hope you're all here.
Yeah, me too, but I'm too stubborn to die. That's the problem.
Me too. I should have been dead years ago.
Set in my way.
Yeah,
It makes it sound better.
exactly. Exactly. Crazy. It's insane.
It is. It really is. But I mean, what kind of an idiot would make a law where, I mean, there's no castle law whatsoever here. And there should be. My home is my castle, and I will defend it. It's that simple.
I will defend mine. I've told people, you come to my house when I don't know you're coming, you break in the door, you're toast. You're toast.
I figured this, because I figured it this way. They're coming into my house.
Questions later.
Well, obviously they're coming in to harm somebody or do something stupid, and it's my house. If I pay the bills.
I was told to put the first round into the ceiling before I shoot him, because then I can claim it as self-defense.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, he didn't stop. He didn't stop, so I put the next one into the officer.
We're not allowed to fire a warning shot here.
Yeah. I spent too much money on my ceiling to fix it. Damage it again.
Yeah, really. True story. I had a garage once upon a time, and in my garage I had a sign, "This house protected 4 days out of the 7 days by Smith & Wesson. You pick which 4."
Yeah.
Yep.
True. I'll still do it. I still do it now.
Yep.
I protect my house.
Handguns are illegal in Canada. Handguns are illegal in Canada.
Yeah, I know.
But, I've got one buried. And I've got it buried close enough that I can get it out of the ground in fucking 10 minutes. I can have it out of the ground and in my hand. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
And they're still trying to take the rest of them away.
Yeah.
Anybody that gives up their guns is an idiot.
Anybody gives up their gun is an idiot.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because they want the guns because they're gonna come down on us and we're not gonna have a way to defend ourselves. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Well, they think of everything, man. It's all part of the agenda. It's in the Communist Manifesto to disarm the public, so they have no way of rebelling. So when the time comes and you all hell breaks loose and you make a crazy announcement and you start rounding people up door to door that the neighbors don't have a gun to come and fight.
Yeah.
That's what they're going.
Guns don't kill people. Idiots with guns kill people.
True.
I've never seen a gun fire itself.
And our guns are 90% of our guns come from south of the border. They come across. I mean, it's an open transportation line for guns coming into Canada from the United States of America. How many do you want?
Yeah.
I can get 3 or 4 handguns right now. I can go downtown and see a guy I know that has handguns, and I can go get a gun right now for $600. I can go get a 9mm.
Yep. Right now, that's the bottom line. I mean, the reality is, how many of the criminals are going to give up their guns? How many of them are going to give them up?
None.
Absolutely.
Bad guys are going to have, nobody else will.
Yeah.
Nobody
and
else
the
will.
government's going to have them and nobody else will.
The bad guys are loving it.
Yeah.
Bad guys are loving it. We're disarming the public. They don't have any way to kill us when we walk in the door with our guns. I love this. Keep going, Mr. Trudeau, Mr. Carney.
Yeah.
Same difference.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, I saw a meme that said if I had to vote for either Carney or a potato, I'd vote for the potato. And that's about right.
At least the potato has eyes.
Yeah. And more brains, apparently, than anybody in Ottawa.
Yeah. Hey, guys, how is your weather up there? We've got tornadoes throughout the Midwestern part of the U.S. and going over into, well, even down all the way down south into Texas and all the way out to the east. We're having all kinds of thunderstorms, We're having some tornado activity. Renee Steppe just put out a very dangerous tornado warning right now for Ashmore and Westfield, Illinois. Unreal. The entire mid part of the United States is getting nailed by these very bad thunderstorms and tornadoes. That storm that's down here in the Gulf of America is stirring things up, and it's got thunderstorms down there as well. But those thunderstorms are moving up into not just in Texas, but moving up into Louisiana and Arkansas, Missouri, going over in Tennessee, and by tomorrow night, we should have that storm here in North Carolina. Unreal. Unreal.
Yeah, I'm getting rain. Are you in danger of tornado run?
Yes.
Are you
Not today, but tomorrow night, going into Friday, yes.
Yeah. So you can't get hit with their tornado.
We can get hit with tornado. We've been under tornado watches and warnings for the past 3 years that I've been here. 3 out of 5 years I've been here.
Yeah. South of us. Have you got an underground shelter? Have you got a basement?
No. I have a bathroom down on the lower side of my house, and my dogs and my wife and I will crowd in that bathroom and stay there if a tornado is anywhere near here.
Yeah, that's a good thing. You got below ground?
It's not below ground. It's on the bottom level of our apartment, but it's probably the safest place to be.
Yeah, apartment buildings, the newer ones with brick and that are better protected than some of the older wooden ones.
Yeah, our building is brick. Our building is brick here.
I mean, unless you get a big tornado,
Yeah,
which is possible, but hopefully you don't.
yeah.
See, up here, we haven't had any tornado warnings this year up here.
Well,
The
that's
last few
good.
years, we've only had 1 or 2. But we are getting the storms and that from down south. I mean, that system is all the way up here, up in northern Ontario,
Yeah.
northeastern Ontario, up near Hudson Bay.
Wow.
And yeah, it's coming all the way up. And we've been getting rain off and on and storms, but nothing real major. I think 2 days ago, we got a storm overnight. No rain, but a ton of lightning.
Wow. Wow.
For the next 10 days in northern British Columbia is nothing but sunshine, nothing but sunshine, nothing but
Wow.
sunshine. For the next 10 days, I'm looking at the forecast. We got beautiful weather coming, low 20s to mid 20s. Beautiful. No, we got 1 day was a little bit of cloud, and maybe a little bit of chance of rain, but that's it. Out of 10 days I'm looking at right now.
That's great.
Yeah, our temperatures are 50s and 60s.
We're pretty lucky for weather.
That's
And
great.
it was 85 the other day, and with the humidex, it was almost 100. But it was only for a day or two, and then that was it. And then we're back into fall.
Yeah. Yeah.
After the winter we had, yeah,
It's
the
crazy.
amount of snow,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, anyway, guys, I gotta get out of here. They're telling me now. YouTube's telling me I've got 4 minutes left here on the air. They're gonna keep me off the air here.
Of course.
I've been on the air now.
Thanks for having me in, Jack Ron.
No problem. We've been on there now 2 hours and 17 minutes, and YouTube's telling me they're gonna nail me in another 3 minutes, so I gotta get out of here. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a good night and a better tomorrow. We love you very much, you guys there in Canada. We love all of our EMA family around the world. We appreciate you being here. Thank you for being here. Guys, before you leave tonight, please give us a thumbs up. Let us know you like our program. Please also subscribe to our program, and also give that little bell icon a click. And click on the word ALL so you get notified when we come out on the air. Check and make sure you subscribe at least once a week, because YouTube keeps kicking people off the air. Keeps kicking people off of YouTube.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I love you guys.
Well, Ron, we'll talk to you later, bud.
All right.
You take care.
You two guys.
Everybody take care. Be safe with these storms.
Yeah, we will. Renee,
All right.
Heather, thank you for putting up the information on the chat. We appreciate that. Barry and Dave, have a good night. Take care, brothers.
You too.
See you soon. Good night. Bye-bye. Guys, that was Barry Prince and Dave Delisle from Canada. Dave lives over in the I believe Quebec province of Canada, and Barry lives over in Vancouver province, over near Vancouver, Canada itself. We appreciate them being with us, guys. Appreciate them being with us. We haven't had them on the air for a long time. I want to bring them on there tonight and have them talk about what's going on in Canada. It's pretty sad. Very, very sad. Things have been going on there for a very long time. Guys, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Guys, I want to thank everybody here. I just maybe have another minute here before I get off the channel. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight with us. God bless you. God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side. Take care, everybody. God bless. See you soon. Good night. Much love.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. We break down the complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard. So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright. We're always learning, always striving to be better, bring you the most up-to-date information, no matter the weather. Emergency Management Associates is here for you now and forever, it's true. Keep watching, keep learning, because we truly appreciate all that you do. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.